Hi, and thanks so much for tuning in to our DISC Week 2 video. Thank you all so much for all of the pre-work you did in Week 1 and getting those DISC and communicator tools sent in to us. This week is all about preparing for your team discussion. So let's go ahead and dive in. So our goal for week 2 is really just to gain a better understanding of what to expect whenever you go into that team meeting next week. We will take a look at a couple of slide examples that we also have in the Learning Center that you can use as templates for this week. And we'll also be looking at our DISC assessment. So make sure that you have that handy as you're going through the video. So first, what to expect when you come into the team discussion. Well, first, you're going to want to meet as a group. This is a great team builder. So come together. If you all are able to come together in the office to meet during the group discussion, please do so. I know that things come up, so we might have to have some team members that need to call in. Definitely, if you're a remote team member, feel free to call in. I always put a link to WebEx in the invite for us to join in remotely. That's actually how I join you all for this meeting. You're going to want to log into WebEx a few minutes early. We all know how sometimes WebEx can spin for us, so make sure you try to log into WebEx a few minutes early. Each team member is going to have 5 minutes to share their slide with the rest of the group, and that's going to really just key into your DISC index and your communication preferences. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in just a second. And what else to expect? Really just come to the meeting ready to learn about your team and learn what you all can do going forward. You know, when it comes to your DISC styles, you'll learn about strengths on each style and how to adapt your communication depending on who you're talking with. So come to the meeting ready to learn all about the DISC and dive in together as a team. So for this week, you're going to want to prepare your presentation, and don't let that word presentation scare you. This is a very casual meeting where we all come together to have some fun, but we do want to put a little structure to it, right? So you'll want to prepare a 5-minute or less presentation that has both your DISC index behaviors and your communication preferences that you plugged in the communicator tool. So what you'll want to do this week is create one PowerPoint slide and try to keep it to one. Do your best to keep it to just one slide and make sure you create that in PowerPoint. Very important to create it in PowerPoint, and send that to me by close of business on this Friday. When you're creating your slide, you want to keep in mind, you want to let your team get to know you better, right? So if I'm working with you, what are the tips that you're going to share with me that are going to help me kind of get in your world when I'm communicating with you? So you'll want to share any of the ideas that came from your DISC index that you really feel are true about you, especially those key points you feel like are going to be beneficial for your team members. And then lastly, make sure you pull out any of those key ideas or indicators for you on that communication tool. So the communicator tool is always a great one to include just a summary of what you plugged in there. Make sure you come to the meeting prepared with a pen and paper. You're going to want to definitely take down some notes during our discussion. So come ready to take some notes. And then lastly, come prepared to listen. I always say try to shut off the world if you can, put your phone down, shut the emails off, but really just come to this meeting ready to take some time with your team and learn more about their style and their communication preferences. So you'll see our slide examples uploaded under week 2 in the Learning Center. This is our first one, and as you can see, this student had their name, office, role up top, and then kind of just did a brief summary of their D, I, S, and C. And these are all just easy bullet points that they pulled straight from their DISC assessment. Off to the right-hand side, they also included just a summary of that communicator tool. So this is really important too. If you're not so much a morning person and you like to come into the office and have your coffee before you get, bombarded with questions, that sort of thing, it's going to be really important for you to let your team know that. Or maybe it's the opposite. You like everyone to hit you up in the morning. That way you can organize out your day. That's really important too. And what are the best ways to communicate to you? Are you a face-to-face? Do you like email, text? Those sort of things are very important and not always things that we let our team know about us. So this is your chance to make sure, get all that information into your slide. But this slide is kind of a you in a nutshell. So go ahead and make it your own. I do challenge you to get creative, but you are free to use these templates. So next up, you can see this student also included their name and really just took straight from the DISC assessment on the second page where it kind of bullets out and just does a summary of the DISC style. So this student included that, and this was a really cool slide because she also included a picture of her family. So this is where, again, DISC can be a great team builder, and you can get to know not only your communication style, but also just get to know each other. So again, challenge you to make it personal. You can put a photo of your family, your pets. I've seen inspirational quotes. So again, just feel free to make the slide your own and include your DISC overview, but also your communication tool. You can see the last couple of bullets were from the communicator. So again, free to use this template or just make it your own. Okay, so let's go ahead and get out our DISC summaries so we can go through this together. I'm going to show you a few good pages to pull from for your slide. So if you go ahead and open it up and go to page 2, you'll see here it goes through just a brief overview of the DISC style, and then it gives you your DISC style. So as you can see, the example I have up here, this person was a most dominant C with the secondary S style. So this is a really good page to pull from your slide. A lot of students will simply just copy and paste from the top to bottom here to share this with their team. So again, read through page 2. If you feel like this information is really relevant to you and will be beneficial for your team to know about you, then go ahead and copy and just simply paste it to your slide. So if we keep scrolling down here, it also gives you an overview of your DISC style. So again, read through here and pull out any little nuggets that you feel like your team's going to benefit in knowing about you. So lots of summary there on page 3. So again, it's one slide that you're making for the DISC meeting next week. So just try to pull out the most beneficial information that you can for your team. So you'll find that as you go through the next few pages, it's going to go through your overview of your motivators. We are not going to use that for next week's team meeting. I do challenge teams to use that in the future, so you can definitely read that through for yourself, but please for your DISC slide, just stick to the D, I, S, and C information. So then once you get to page 6, you'll also see that it takes a deeper dive just into each style. This is really good information. I'm going to go through a lot of the strengths and opportunities of each style in the team discussion, but this is a really good pre-read coming into the meeting. So again, probably pages 2 and 3 are going to be the best pages to pull from for your slide. But again, great information here. And you'll see Tony Robbins also offers some additional information, but we use the free side of it. So this is completely up to you if you want to get your DISC scores or a very thorough summary of your DISC here. But again, just pages, I'm going to scroll right back up here. Pages 2 and 3 are what you're going to want to pull from for your slide, and then also utilize that communicator tool. All right, so that sums it up for what to prep for this week. Definitely, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me via email. I'm happy to help you if you need it. Make sure you get your slide done in PowerPoint format over to me by close of business this Friday, and I will look forward to meeting you in the team discussion soon. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.